Hi, so now we're going to start to talk about flicking the locks that we've pulled out, and I've still got these locks here that I pulled out just previously. And we flick or open up the end of the locks ready for spinning, and we use a flicker. This is a flicker, and they come in many different forms and different brands, but they basically or principally they work the same way. They have a long handle and a small section of tines, carding tines on the end. Now the reason for the long handle is so that when you flick, a bit like a hammer, you get more emphasis on the end if you hold your flicker at this very end here. So when you flick your fibres, this is going to have, you're going to have more, is it inertia? Not sure, have to look that one up. But don't hold your flicker here. Hold it right at the end so that you're going to get some traction on the lock. Now I'm just going to turn my screen down a little bit now so that you can see my lap. Wonderful. So here is, get those out of the way, and then you're just looking at the black area here. Here is the lock, and we are going to open up the tip end, the dirty end, the one that has been open to the elements. Because basically the cut end is pretty open. Can you see that? It's pretty open because the shears have gone through here. This has been the closest end to the skin. It's reasonably clean, and we're not going to have to really open that up. But the tip end, because it's been open to the elements, this fleece is very good, but does need a little bit of encouragement just to open up. Plus the fact, if we open it up and if we flick it with our flicker, if there's any weak fibre on the end of the tips here, we'll be able to get rid of it. Just before we start flicking, one of the things that you need to do is to make sure that your flicker is clean. Or I've got a little bit of fibre down in the bottom there, that won't stop anything, but you don't want old fibre which is compacted into the bottom half of your tines. You need that depth of tine to be able to flick efficiently. Otherwise, you're going to get a very sore wrist, because if it's all blocked up with fibre, it's not going to do a very good job. All right, so we're going to now, I'm going to show you how to flick open your tips. So hand at the very end, and it's just a case of tapping really. You're just tapping. Now if you notice, if I turn it that way, so that's the side that I flicked open, all right? And you can see how the fibres have already started to open up. So what I'm going to do now is to turn the lock over, and I'm going to flick on the other side. There we go. And what happens is, look how beautifully it's opened up, like a fan. And that's how I want your locks to look. Don't go for something too big. Just, even if it's a small lock, you can put 2 or 3 together to spin. Best to have your fibre opened like this. Okay, so let's try another one. I'm just going to lay that down undisturbed, and normally I lay them down in a shoebox so that I can keep them light and airy. So here's my other one. It's actually 2 locks together, but that's okay. We can manage that. It's not too big, and just a case of tapping. And you can see I've got a protective mat on my lap here. Otherwise, I'd do myself an injury. So there's one half. Underneath you can still see the other fibre. Okay, that would not be good preparation. We wouldn't leave it like that. Turn it over, holding it firmly don't hold it sort of gently. You need to hold that cut end firmly. You don't want fibre pulling out or being disturbed. Yep. And it's just a case of a little flick and the flicker will open it up. I might even turn it over one more time. There we go. It's amazing how it opens up, right up, once one side is done properly. And there we go. Okay. And there you always know that that's the butt end or the cut end, as we call it. Lay that down one more time. Hold your cut end firmly. Don't be gentle. Hold it firmly. And it's a little bit hard with the arm of the chair. There we go. Turn it over. Hold it firmly. It's opening up nicely. Might even, I can see some clumps there and there that aren't quite opened up. So no harm in tapping it a bit more. And I mean, we're all dying to get onto the spinning, but quite frankly, good preparation will give you hours of good spinning. I mean, and really a beautiful spinning experience. It's worth putting the time in, flicking your fibre open now. Just a gentle tap. It's not the hardness of the tap that's actually going to open up your fibre, so no point in whacking. It's just gentle tapping. You'll end up with a bruise on your knee if you tap too hard. There we go. And once more, opened up. Oh, it just looks like a lovely, those old-fashioned sheaves of corn. Okay, so have fun doing that and see how the weak fibre, the dirty fibre, is starting to gather on the in the tines there. You would clean that out, and you can clean it out with just, you know, another flicker or just a fine needle, knitting needle. I've got a little hook here, and I just pull that off. A clean flicker will do your job more efficiently. And that little bit is just going to stay there, isn't it? I'll get it out eventually. So have fun doing your flicking.